Hello students, today we will study the coordinate geometry. Coordinate geometry we will study. In that we will first study the synopsis of the straight lines, and synopsis of the some parts of the circles, and in that we will thoroughly study the detailed information about the straight lines, the definitions of the straight lines, the types of the straight lines, the slope, the different varieties, the different forms of the straight lines, and the basic formulas, the basic techniques which helps to solve the rest of the problems to a JEE level. At the end of the session, we will study the basic definitions, concepts, equations of the circles, and the properties of the circles. Okay, so let us study one by one. So we know that a straight line is basically a curve with same slope at every point on it. Okay, so basically a straight line is a curve where every point has the same slope. That is, indirectly I can say that a straight line is a locus of a point. The locus of a point moving in the plane with constant slope at every point on it. Okay, note on this. So it has a same point on it. Now every point has the same slope, having the same slope. It has the same slope on it everywhere. Okay, so basically a straight line is a curve, a locus of the point with same slope at every point. And you know that if x1, y1 and x2, y2 are the any 2 points A and B, which are the Cartesian coordinate system points, then the slope between the AB is the ratio of difference of y coordinates divided by difference of x coordinates. Difference of y coordinates divided by difference of x coordinates. Okay, so this is the slope which will be represented using the letter m in the coordinate system, in the coordinate geometry. Okay, so indirectly what I am telling is, look at this definition. A straight line is a curve. Such that every point on the line segment joining the any 2 points on it lies on it. It means there are 2 points, and there is one more point which is joining these 2 points is always lying on it. The simplest locus of a point in a plane is a straight line. Is a straight line. A line is determined by uniquely by one of the following. What are those following? So let us understand the general form of the straight lines. Let us understand the general form of the straight lines. General form of the straight lines. Okay. So basically, what is the slope? Slope is a trigonometrical tangent of the angle that the line makes with the positive direction of the x-axis. Look at this. This is the positive direction of the x-axis, and with this x-axis, what this line is making, I can call this as the angle theta. And this is nothing but the slope. Indirectly, it is a slope, or I can say gradient of a line. Okay, with anti-clockwise sense is called slope or gradient of the line. And basically, slope is denoted by m is equals to tan theta. Okay, so basically the slope is represented by m, and which is trigonometric, whose trigonometric value is tan theta. Okay, so what is the slope here indirectly? Slope is nothing but m is equals to tan of theta, where theta is nothing but the angle inclined between the positive x-axis and the line. This angle inclined is basically referred to be the slope of the line. Okay, next, look at this. If the slope of the line is parallel to x-axis, if and only if the m is 0, that is, whenever the slope is 0, then only the line is parallel to x-axis. And observe this, the line is parallel to x-axis. And whenever the slope is 90 degree, I can say that the line is perpendicular to the x-axis. Similarly, parallel to the x-axis. It means a line, you can observe here that, suppose that if a line has the same slope that of x-axis, if this line L1 has the same slope that of x-axis, or this line is inclined with the 0 degree with the x-axis, then I can say that these two lines are parallel. At the same time, if a straight line you can see that if a straight line is parallel to y-axis, then it has the same slope that of the y-axis. It means basically on the y-axis, if the inclination made with the y-axis is 0, then these two lines are said to be parallel lines. Coming to the next point. Okay, third point. The slope of the line equally inclined with the axis is 1 or minus 1. Either it is a 1 or minus 1. Okay, so and the fourth point is already we discussed about y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, which is the slope of the line between the any 2 points x1 y1 and x2 y2 So any 2 points between the x1 y1 and x2 y2. Okay, fine. So next point is the slope of the line through the points x1 y1 x2 y2 is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Fifth point is the slope of the line ax plus by plus c equals to 0 is always minus a by b. Okay, so let us discuss about different forms of the equation of line. Right? If the line has slope form ax plus by plus c equals to 0, then the slope of this line is always is always minus a by b. You can observe here that minus a by b is the slope of the any line which is of the form ax plus by plus c equals to 0. Ax plus by plus c equals to 0. It means, remember that the slope where a and b are the real numbers and c is also real number. C is also real number. Okay, and x and y are the variables. Remember this point. Next, if a line ax plus by plus c is there, then the x-intercept of the baseline is always minus b by minus c by a. Is always minus c by a. Is always minus c by a. And the y-intercept is minus c by b. Minus c by b. Okay, remember this is the x-intercept. This is the x-intercept. This is the y-intercept. This is the y-intercept. And the slope of the line is minus a by b. Remember that slope of the line is minus a by b. Minus a by b. Next one. Moving on, the sixth point. Slope of two parallel lines are equal. Okay. If y is equals to mx plus c and y, there are two lines. One is y1 and one is y2. y1 is equals to mx plus mx1 plus c1 and y2 is equals to y2, that is mx2 plus c2, then I can say that these two lines have the same slopes. It means these two lines are parallel lines. These two lines are parallel lines. These two lines are parallel lines. It means suppose that if there are two lines, suppose that there are two lines. One line is the line 1 and one line is line 2. If the line L1 has a slope m and the line L2 has the same slope m, then we can say that these two lines are parallel to each other always. These two lines are parallel to each other always, right? Fine. And suppose that there is a line L1 and there is another line L2. Another line L2, and the L1 line has a slope m1 and the L2 line has a slope m2. It means if the product of both the slopes is equals to minus 1, if the product of both the slopes of the lines L1 and L2 is equals to minus 1, then we can say that these two lines are mutually perpendicular. These two lines are mutually perpendicular. You can note down here that this is the angle between this filled color is nothing but the angle between these two lines. Okay. So this is basically the angle between these two lines. Next, there are different forms of the lines are there. As we study basically the slope, there are different forms of the lines are there, right? So different forms of the lines. The first one is the slope form. First one is the slope form of the line. So what is the slope form? Is regarding the slope of a line. The equation of a line through the origin and having the slope m. The equation of a line having the line through the origin and having the slope m is always equals to y is equals to mx. Already we know that y is equals to mx plus c is any line which is said to be a straight line, and y equals to mx only is a line passing through the origin because any line which is passing through the origin has always constant 0. That is, c equals to 0 is the mathematical condition with which a line, any line is passing through the origin. That is, if suppose that any line which does not contains the constant c, then definitely the line is passing through the origin. Definitely the line is passing through the origin. Next one. If one point in the space is given and slope of the line is given, then the slope of the line is given. That is point to slope form of the line. We can call it as point to slope form of a line. Point slope form of a line. The point to slope form of a line. Okay. So the point slope form of a line is whenever the point x1, y1 is given and the slope m is given, then the equation of a straight line will be y minus y1 is equals to m into x minus x1. Yeah, m into x minus x1. So in some of the cases we will also consider that the point is x0, y0. The point is x0, y0. Sometimes in some of the books it will be given like x0, y0, and the slope is m. The slope is m. In this case, what this equation become? This equation become y minus y0 is equals to m into x minus x0. X minus x0. So actually we have studied by taking the points like x0, y0. By taking the points like x0, y0. So y minus y0 equals to m into x minus x0 is the point and slope. So this is the point and this is the slope. Point slope form of the equation of a line. So whenever the point, one point on a line is given and slope of the line is given, then the equation of such conditions can be solved and the equation of such lines can be determined. Next one is the slope intercept form. Okay, always remember that if there are x and y axis, if there are coordinate axis, then what do you mean by intercept? For example, if a line crossing the x axis, then what is the x-intercept? If a line crossing the y-axis, then what is the y-intercept? It is just nothing but x-intercept indicates the distance of the line on the x-axis from the origin. Right? X-intercept is nothing but the distance on x-axis. Distance on the x-axis from where? From the origin. Right? From the origin. So x-intercept indicates the distance of the same line or same point on the x-axis from the origin. It means x distance is always called as x-intercept. Y distance from the origin is always called as the y-intercept. It's called as the y-intercept. Okay. So here you look at this definition. One slope of the line is given and intercept of the line is given. Whenever a line intersecting x-axis or y-axis with particular angle with the x or y respectively axis, then how to find the equation of a line? Is given. The equation of a line for a non-vertical line with the slope m and cutting off an intercept c on the y-axis. Look at this. A line is crossing the y-axis with intercept c with the distance c and is given by y is equals to mx plus c. 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 Okay. You can see the picture also. There is a straight line y-axis. There is a straight line x-axis, and there is a line which is touching the y-axis at the distance of c from the origin, making an angle theta with the positive x-axis. It means y is equals to mx plus c is nothing but the slope intercept form of the equation of a line, where m is called the slope of a line, and C is called the y-intercept. C is called the y-intercept. C is called the y-intercept. Okay. So next one. What happen if in place of, see, first we have studied whenever the y-intercept is given, whenever this intercept is given, y-intercept is given, we came to know that with the slope m and with the y-intercept c, the equation of line is y is equals to mx plus c. Y is equals to mx plus c. What happen if the same line cutting the x-axis, this line L touching or crossing the x-axis at the distance d, then the equation of a line, that is whenever the x-intercept of a line is given and slope of a line is given m, then the required equation of a line with where the x-intercept of a line is given, slope of this line is given by y is equals to m into x minus d. Y is equals to m into x minus d. Y is equals to m into x minus d is any equation of a straight line with x-intercept form, or I can say intercept form, whenever the x-intercept is given, whenever the x-intercept and the slope of a line is given. So moving on, the intercept form. What to do when both the intercepts of a line are given? What to do when both the intercepts of a line are given? Yes, this is the case where when both the intercepts of a line, if a line crossing the x-axis and y-axis with some x and y intercept respectively, then what is the form of such line? What is the form of such line we have to come to know? Okay, now look at this. The intercept form, it means when both the intercepts are given, we will read it as intercept form. When only y-intercept is given, we can call it as y-intercept form of the line. Whenever only x-intercept is given, we will say that x-intercept of the line. Okay, so if a straight line cuts the x-axis at A and y-axis at B, it cuts the x-axis at A and y-axis at B, these points A and B, and making some distance small a and small b at A and B with the distance A and B respectively, then the equation of such line is given by x by A plus y by B equals to A. 1 x by A plus y by B is equals to 1. X by A plus y by B equals to 1. So where A is called as the x-intercept, B is called as the y-intercept of the line. We already heard this. We already solved many theory problems based on the same problem, right? Okay. So moving on. Okay. The next point is, what is the equation of a line when there are 2 points on it are given? That is, if a straight line is there, we have to find the equation of this straight line where there are 2 points on it is given. Okay. Suppose that those 2 points are x1 and y1 and x2 and y2. Think that those 2 points are x1, y1 and x2, y2. Think that those 2 points are x1, y1 and x2, y2. Then what is the form of the equation of straight line? Okay, so y minus y1 equals to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1 into x minus x1 is the equation of the straight line whenever both the vertices or points on the line is given. I can say that 2 points, these are the 2 points, then I can say that 2 point form of these are the 2 points given. I can say that the 2 point form of the equation of line. There are 2 points on the line is given and the equation of such line is referred to be the 2 point form of the equation of a line. 2 point form of the equation of a line. Okay, fine. Okay, moving on. The normal form or perpendicular form of the equation of a line. Okay, so the equation of the straight line upon which the length of the perpendicular from the origin, you can note on this, the length of the perpendicular is extremely important. The length of the perpendicular from the origin is given to the P, right? So the length of the perpendicular from the origin is given, and the angle made with the positive x-axis is also given. That is, look at this picture. In this picture, there is a y-axis, there is a x-axis, there is a y-axis, and there is a x-axis. So this is basically x-axis, this is y-axis, right? So this is the line, this is the line which is perpendicularly making an angle here. You can observe here that the angle is you can observe the angle is alpha, right? Angle is alpha, and P is nothing but the perpendicular distance of the line, this line with the x-axis, means suppose that I will redraw the picture here. Suppose that there is a line, I can say L, and the perpendicular distance is, I can say P is perpendicular distance, and I can say that the angle made by this perpendicular with the positive direction of the x-axis is alpha. Then the equation of line is going to be x cos alpha plus y sin alpha, x cos alpha plus y sin alpha equals to P. X cos alpha plus y sin alpha equals to P. So here x and y are the variables, and alpha is the angle made by the perpendicular line with the axis, positive x-axis. P is the perpendicular distance of the required equation of a line. We already know this formula, and we already know how to solve the problems on this one. Okay, so moving on, the equation of parallel perpendicular lines to a given line, right? So we already heard about this one, so let me tell you briefly about this one with some pictures. So because you can understand more with the pictures, Suppose, remember that, always remember that, if a line AX plus BY plus C equals to 0, if a line AX plus BY plus C equals to 0 is any line, then a line parallel to this, suppose that the line is like this. This is AX plus BY plus C equals 0. And what I am talking about is any line which is parallel to this, this is the symbol of parallelism. If this line is AX plus BY plus C equals to 0, then what is the equation of this line? What is the equation of this line? We have to find. Okay. Remember that there are two forms. Or generally I can write, if AX plus BY plus C equals to 0 is any line, then a line which is always parallel to it is always of the form AX plus BY plus, remember, K equals to 0. So what I am trying to suggest to you here is that the only difference between these two lines is the constant. That is, if you observe the slopes, what is the slope of this line? Minus A by B. What is the slope of this line? Minus A by B. It means both the lines have the same slope. It means this is given that if the slopes of any two lines are same, then I can say that the two lines are parallel. So the same condition will be applied here. Okay. So this is all about a line which is parallel to the given straight line. What happened? How to find the equation of a line which is perpendicular to the given line? I give you a shortcut. Suppose that AX plus by plus c equals to 0 is any given line like this. This is a given line. Then any line perpendicular to it, any line perpendicular to it is always of the form, the line perpendicular to it is always of the form, one of the form is bx minus ay plus c equals to 0, or I can say the one more form is minus bx plus ay plus c equals to 0. Now you observe that what is the difference between how I write these two and why I write these two. Okay, if you observe the equations and think, you will get exactly what I am thinking. You will understand what I am thinking. You look at both the lines. The ax plus by plus c equals 0 and bx minus ay plus c equals 0, or you can take minus bx plus ay plus c equals 0. The slope of this line is m, if it is m, and slope of these two lines is another m2, then definitely their product is minus 1. You can observe this. Let me show you. Okay, how the product of these two slopes will be minus 1. Okay, what is the slope of this line? Minus a by b into product of the slopes. What is the slope of this line? Into b by a. Now you can observe a and a get cancelled, b get cancelled. What is left is minus 1. That satisfies the condition of perpendicularity of the two lines. Therefore, definitely these are the lines which are perpendicular to each other. I write once again. Okay. So ax plus by. Ax plus by. If ax plus by plus c equals to 0 is any line, then the line which is perpendicular to this is always of the form bx minus ay plus c equals to 0, or else it will be of the form minus bx plus ay plus c equals to 0. Okay, note down this, it's a very important point. So any line which is perpendicular to the given line ax plus by plus c equals to 0 is either bx minus ay plus c equals to 0 or minus bx plus ay plus c equals to 0. Okay, note down this. Moving on, there are some conditions given. Already we have studied this one. Okay, so already we have studied this one, right? Okay, fine. Angle between the lines. The next one is angle between the lines. Suppose that there are two lines drawn. Suppose that there are two lines drawn. One line is L1 and one more line is L2, right? Now there exist two types of the angle between them. This is one of the angle and this is one more type of the angle. You can see that this is one of the angle which exists in the, so we can observe this is one of the angle. We can observe the shaded portion of this, then you will understand this is a particular angle. And when you observe that this is a particular angle, so the total sum of these two angles, when you observe the sum of these two angles, what I am talking totally is, I am talking about this one, that the sum of these complete angle, it means sum of the total angle inclined is totally it is 180. It means if the line L1 has a slope m1 and the line L2 has a slope m2, then what is the angle between them? The angle between them is tan theta is equals to modulus of m1 minus m2 divided by 1 plus m1 into m2. m1 into m2. You can observe this and you will get the more clarity that the two lines, as you observe this in the figure, the two lines L1 and L2 with the slopes m1 and m2. The slope between the two lines is given to be magnitude, or I can say modulus of m1 minus m2 divided by 1 plus m1 m2, which will be further written like this, which will be further written like theta equals to tan inverse of magnitude or modulus of m1 minus m2 divided by 1 plus m1 m2. Okay, now, so this is already over. So these are the conditions you can observe on the screen. The condition of the parallelism, condition of the perpendicularity, conditions where the lines intersect each other. You can observe the lines intersect each other. Condition of perpendicularity, condition of parallelism, and coincident line, that is lines touching each other. Okay, so where a1x plus b1y plus c1z equals to c1 equals to 0 and a2x plus b2y plus c2 equals to 0 are any two lines, then this is the condition of parallelism, that the ratio of their consecutive variables a1 by a2 and b1 by b2 and c1 by c2, a1 by a2 and b1 by b2 must be same, but they are not equals to c1 by c2. And similarly, intersecting condition a1 by a2 is not equals to b1 by b2. Perpendicularity condition is a1 a2 plus b1 b2 equals to 0, right? a1 a2 plus b1 b2 equals to 0. Fine. So moving on, we will have more concepts about the next topic. And so these are some of the examples. Right? The distance between the two lines, the perpendicular distance between the two lines. You already know that this formula. The perpendicular distance between the lines. The perpendicular distance between the lines is always equals to d equals to modulus of c1 minus c2 divided by square root of a square plus b square, where these are the two lines given. The picture is like here. The picture will be like here. You can observe this picture. In this picture, you will come to know that the lines. This is a line and this is a line. There are two lines given here, and out of these two lines, these are the distance between the lines. Then how to find is this is the formula. So moving on, we will go to some part of the sections of the cone. Okay, so basically the conic section is very interesting one. It's extremely interesting one. And in this video, we will study some part that is only the circle. We will only study the synopsis of the circle today. And in the next class also, we will continue this next part of these videos. Okay. What is a circle? The basic definition is what is a circle. So before the concept of the circle, I would like to tell you what is a conic section. What is a conic section? Consider a cone. Everyone knows that this is a cone, where in our daily life, as soon as the word cone comes, we will understand that cone is all about putting mehendi in the hand, right? The girls will put the mehendi in the hand using the such cones which contains the mehendi inside. Okay. So here, this is also a cone. So as the cone is cutted, as the cone has the partial the cuttings, the cone has, as the cone cuts in the particular angle, these particular angles like this or like this, then the cone will divide it into sections. And you can note here that in the mathematics we will have a double cone. We have a double cone. Okay, so this is called as a double helix cone, where this is the center of the cone, this is the center of the cone, and this is called axis of the cone. This is called axis of the cone. Axis of the cone. Okay, so in the I will have pictures here. You can see the pictures directly. Okay, so you get the pictures here. Here you can see. Okay, pictures are not there, it's okay. So when a double helix cone, cut particularly, so this is, as I told you, this is the axis of the cone, So this is the nape, I can say nape of the cone. This is axis of the cone, and similarly it has a base and axis and the nape, right? So this is double helix. This is double face. Okay. So this is the midpoint. And when you particularly cut the cone in this direction at the angle of 90 degree to the x-axis, so what you are going to get? You are going to get a circle. You can observe that this picture is approximately a circle. All right. This is not exactly a circle, but I am trying to draw the circle. You can see that this picture is looking like a circle. Okay. So possibly I am trying to draw a circle. Okay. Fine. So possibly this is a circle. Okay. Suppose that this is a circle. So this the cutting of the cone with the particular angle. Will construct a circle like this. So as the cone will cut into different angles with respect to the axis of the cone, we are going to get different parts. First part what we are going to get is the circles. And in the second part, what we are going to get is a parabola. We are going to get. And the third part, what is we are going to get is the ellipse. Which is the beautiful concepts further on. And the fourth one, what we are going to get is the hyperbola. Okay. So first one, what we are going to get? We are going to get the circles as soon as the double helix cone is caught into a particular angle, and in the later class we will study the same also. And when with the particular cutting of the cone, we are going to get the parabola. And continually we are going to get the ellipse and the hyperbolas. In this one, we will study thoroughly about the circles. First part of the cone, which is the circle, and okay. So definition of the circle is written here. You can see that circle is nothing but the locus of a point. Which moves in a plane such that its distance from a fixed point in the plane is always the same. You can observe here that what is the beautiful definition is, that is, there is a circle which always moving with respect to a fixed point where the distance everywhere is the same. You can observe the distance everywhere is same. Then I can say that constitutes a circle. Otherwise, we will try to draw the circle also. As you can see that I am trying to fix a point here. So let us fix this distance. Suppose that this is the distance. Then with respect to this distance, if I start traveling around it, with the same distance everywhere, you can observe that I get the circle. Approximately I get the circle. Not exactly a circle, but approximately what I am going to get is the circle. Okay. So this is the approximately a picture of circle. Okay. You can observe here that. So this is the circle. Okay. So where this point is called as this point is called as the center. This point is called as the center, and the constant distance is called as the radius of the circle. The constant distance is called as the radius of the circle. Is called as the radius of the circle. And the path travelled by the point is called as the circumference. The path travelled by the locus of the point is called as the circumference. And the same picture, what we are going to observe here is in this one, we are going to observe the same picture. You can see that within this box we have the same picture of the circle, which elaborates that the circle is nothing but a locus of a point. Locus indicating moving point. Locus means moving. Locus is a moving point which moves in a plane such that its distance from a fixed point in the plane is always same, or I can say is always constant. Is always a constant. Is always a constant. Therefore, that constructs a circle. That constructs a circle. And the general equation of a circle. The general equation of a circle is x square plus y square is equals to r square. The general construction of the circle will be done through the equation x square plus y square equals to r square. X square plus y square equals to r square, where x and y are the variables, and r is the radius of the circle. And r is the radius of the circle. Okay. So in the next class we will study more about the circles and next part of the course. Thank you.